Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I was just having a bit of a play around and I just recorded a bit of a behind the scenes of like my podcasting setup because I always get lots of questions about what it looks like, how it works. So I've just put that up on TikTok a little while ago. If you're not following me on social media, make sure that you do. I'm on all of the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever your thing is. But I just find TikTok is, I don't know, I can be a bit more vulnerable, I guess, compared to some of the other social media platforms. I can share a bit more behind the scenes. I don't know, like it just feels a bit more relaxed. So definitely go and follow me over on socials if you're not already, because I love sharing those things because I know for me, for a really long time, I sat on this podcast. The amount of women that would say to me, Jen, have you got a podcast? Jen, where can I listen to your podcast? And I would always be like, oh, sorry, don't have one. I haven't got one. I haven't done that yet. It's on the bucket list. I'd love to do it. And I just never started it. So I really hope that, me starting the podcast inspires you if there's something that you want to do or a goal that you want to go after or a dream that you want to achieve because I'm was literally also just in the podcasting platform that I use. So the podcasting platform will actually distribute it to Apple and Spotify and all the different places that you listen to the podcast. And in that same platform, it shows you where it's being listened to around the world. So it shows on a little map all of the different countries, which is really, really cool. And it also just showed me that we've reached over 40,000 downloads, which is just mind blowing and insane to me. And I just want to take a moment to say a massive thank you because without you and your weekly listens and following the show and like sharing it with a friend or a girlfriend, it just couldn't be possible. And I'm just so happy that everything that we talk about and all of these topics that are on the podcast are really, really resonating you because I truly wish that this was the kind of space that I had when I was trying to lose weight and to work on my goals. And I'm just so grateful that I can share this with you and that we can be on this journey together. So in my job, I speak to women, a lot of women. I speak to women, I talk to women, I interact with women in the membership through my DMs, through emails, also just in like real life, in women that I talk to every single day. And every single woman that I have has a demanding career, they have families, they have additional responsibilities, and they all struggle with similar issues around healthy eating and weight loss. And the big one is this. Majority of women that I've worked with and that I get to speak to every single day have usually at some point experienced a very small amount of success with weight loss and healthy eating. So they've had some sort of a win. Something has gone in their favor. It might have been that they've lost a couple of kilos. It might have been even that they've lost like 3 or 4 or even 5 kilos. They've all experienced some little bit of success, where they've had a good week of eating or like they've hit their protein target for a few days in a row. They've all had some small amount of success, all of them. And like literally nearly all of them have had this same issue, even though they have had that tiny little bit of weight loss success. But the problem is they haven't been able to keep it off. So I talk to women and they're like, oh, but Jen, I did this program and I got some results. And then after that, I put the weight back on. That is the common pattern that I hear over and over again from women is, oh, but Jen, I did this program, I did this challenge, I did this detox, I did this cleanse, and I put the weight back on. And that is an ongoing problem that we experience as women. And it truly comes down to one thing. It's just that we haven't been taught how to eat. That's it. We as women have not been taught how to eat. We have been taught what to cut out, what to skip, what to miss, all of the don't do these things. But no one, as girls, as young women, as teenagers, even as adults, we have not been taught how to eat. And that is why we struggle with weight gain after weight loss. Okay, because we don't know how to do it when it's not perfect. So you follow the plan, you follow the program, you do the challenge, you do it really perfectly, you get some results, you have some weight loss, you have some success, your clothes feel looser. And then what? What do you do after that? You haven't learned anything. All you have done is followed a plan that was given to you. And following a plan that is given to you without the knowledge and understanding behind it leads to failure. And that's why every time you start something new, you do it successfully and then you put the weight back on. There are so many women that I talk to, especially women in the membership, that I've literally gained and lost the same 5 or 10 kilos for the last 20 years. And that's because no one has taught them how to eat. It is truly the missing piece. And here's the part that I struggle with. There is so much talk, emphasis, advertising, social media, everything about weight loss, fat loss, slim down, tone down, get this body, get these legs that you want at the gym. There is so much emphasis on the weight loss. But have you ever thought about this? Who's talking about weight maintenance? Who's talking about what do you do when you've lost the weight and you want to keep it off long term? No one is, because it's not sexy and it doesn't sell. People aren't going to talk about weight maintenance because people just want a quick result. And that's why this sort of trap that we've got stuck in as women, and that's why it's this billion-dollar industry, because we're all jumping and trying to find this quick fix. So we jump on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, trying to find the quickest, fastest, easiest way to do this. And that's what keeps us stuck, because the quickest, fastest, easiest way of doing this is not weight maintenance. You can take it off, but you have to learn to keep it off. And that's the missing part that we are missing. Like, so many of us women are missing that part of the puzzle. And like I said, it's not sexy. Could you, go and stop the scroll when you're on social media if someone's talking about, hey, this is how you can maintain your weight? No, you're not. You're going to be doom scrolling and you're going to stop where the woman that says, this is what I ate to lose 5 kilos in 5 days. Or she's going to say, this is the exact meal that I ate on repeat to lose 30 kilos. And all of those things are designed to draw you in. Okay. The weight maintenance is what we should be talking about. And it's why I'm talking about this exact topic in today's podcast episode. So we're going to talk about why most women gain the weight back and the truth about weight loss maintenance and what you actually need to do in order to succeed for the long term. Because like I said, it's great to have weight loss success. It's great to be hitting the gym and eating healthy and feeling really good and doing all the things. Don't get me wrong, it's a great feeling. But once you stop doing what you're told and you have to do it on your own, then what do? You have to learn how to do it on your own after the plan or program finishes. And that is the missing piece. We are not being taught how to eat. So there's sort of two parts to understanding why this happens for us as women. Is because one, like I said, we haven't been taught how to eat. So we don't know how to eat on a night where the kids are sick. We don't know how to eat when we're on our period and we just want to eat all the food in the fridge and the pantry. We haven't been taught how to eat when we're really generally hungry at night and like what's actually happening to us. We haven't been taught how to eat when we are so tired and exhausted and they can't possibly put a meal together to have something that's quick and easy to throw together. This is all the stuff that we haven't been taught as women. So it's two parts. So not being taught how to eat is the one part. And the other part is this. We have only been taught that success comes from perfection. And this is the thing. You can literally do any plan, program, detox, cleanse, challenge, whatever you want to call it, and you can do it perfectly for a set period of time. Most women can. And they do that perfectly for a certain amount of time. And then the challenge finishes. And then what? What happens after that? You have no idea what you were doing. You have no idea how to replicate those changes after the challenge has finished. And then life gets busy. Kids get sick. Work gets demanding. Something happens with a family member. Your car breaks down. All of this stuff happens, and you can't do healthy eating and exercise perfectly anymore. So, what happens? You quit. You quit, or you just reverse back to those old unhealthy habits that you had stopped doing for the period of the challenge, or the 6 weeks or 12 weeks, or whatever you had signed up for. So it is important to understand what's actually happening here. And I'm so passionate about talking to you about this stuff because knowledge is power. So the more that you understand why you keep gaining weight and why you keep gaining the same 5 or 10 kilos over and over again is because of those two things. One, because you haven't been taught how to eat, and two, because you think in order to be successful that you have to follow the plan perfectly. And I'm here to tell you that you do not need to be perfect. You do not have to have the perfect exercise plan, the perfect week of eating. You do not have to do anything perfect in order to succeed. But you do have to learn about the food that you eat and the way that you are eating. So, what the goal is to stop you from falling into that black hole, into the abyss when the thing that you are working on has stopped. We have to give you the skills that you need in order to do this on your own. And that's why, the women in the membership will always say, I'm learning so much because I'm slowly starting off by holding their hand every step of the way and then slowly pulling back a bit to teach them how to do it on their own, but still giving them that support and accountability that they need so that they can reach their goals. Because you have to learn how to do this stuff on your own. You do. And this is why you get stuck in this dieting cycle, because you do the challenge, you do the cleanse, you do the thing, you do it perfectly for a while, life gets busy, you stop, and then you put the weight back on, a little bit of time goes by, and then you go, start again, or you see some shiny object syndrome on the internet or an ad on TV, and you're like, I'll jump on that bandwagon, I'll do that thing, you do it perfectly, you lose a bit of weight, and it stops, and then you just keep getting stuck in this cycle. So, how can you maintain your weight loss? All right. Now, because I really want to focus on your knowledge and your understanding and give you as many takeaways as you can from this podcast episode, I'm not going to focus on the obvious ones. So, I don't want to talk about keeping your steps up, eating your protein, all that kind of stuff, because I feel like for majority of you probably know that already. Okay. They're the basics. They're the basics that we see in here all over the place all the time. So, I really want to give you some things to think about and as many takeaway moments as I can from today's episode. So, how can you maintain your weight loss for the long term? So, we're talking after the plan is finished, after the program's finished. What do you actually need to do to experience success for the long term? Number one, and I've sort of touched on this a really small amount, but you need to learn how to eat. You need to learn how to eat. I can tell you from personal experience, because I have done many, many programs and things myself, that 99.999% of the programs that you have done, the programs that you have tried, have only given you the what. So they've given you the what to eat, the what to exercise, the what way to move. They haven't taught you how. They haven't said to you, okay, we're going to do a diet audit and we're going to have a look at what you're eating. We're going to have a look at where you've been going wrong so that you can see clearly exactly what's not working. And then we can make a path and plan for your success. They're not looking at those things. They are just eat this, move this way, do this. And so you do what you're told. You be a good girl. You do what you're told. You follow the plan. You do the things. And then you just don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and why you are doing it, how are you going to replicate it afterwards? You're not. If you don't know why you're eating that food, if you don't know why you're eating that many calories, if you don't know why you're exercising in that way, you're not going to be able to replicate it afterwards.
I've lost over 6 kilos on the program, and I've ditched the restrictive food mindset and am able to navigate life's busyness as a very busy full-time working mum with 2 children on the program, and being supported by an amazing community and Jem herself, who is there to coach you and get you out of those situations where you second guess yourself. So take that next step and trust in the program. and reap the rewards.
So learn how to eat. Learn how to eat. Learn how to eat. Learn what to eat. And that means learning how to eat so you stay full, so you stay satisfied, so you can sleep better, so that you don't binge eat, so that you don't emotional eat, so that you don't have these insane sugar cravings. It's all of these things that you need to learn around food and how to eat that are going to set you up for success. Because I can hand on heart tell you that every single problem that women come to me with still boils down to that same issue. They have not been taught how to eat, and that is why they struggle. No matter what it is, it still comes down to that same thing. So, really, really focusing on learning how to eat. The next tip: plan for life and not perfection. Most women gain their weight back because they're used to following a tight, rigid plan. Okay. For weight maintenance, you need to have a more flexible plan that is adjustable with your life. So, one that allows you to keep the basics, but also allows room for movement. No one eats perfectly all the time. I have told you, and I will repeat it again today, I don't eat perfectly. Okay, I had takeaway on the weekend. I had burger, chips, and a chocolate thick shake because I really like those chocolate thick shakes. And I had that on the weekend. I don't eat perfectly. There's nights where I'll just have a girl dinner because I'm like, I can't be bothered cooking for everyone. So it's like, right, we're all having a plate. I'm having a girl dinner. I don't eat perfectly. No one eats perfectly, but that's where you need to start planning for life and not perfection. The programs and things that you have tried, and many of those challenges are rigid. They are tight. They are not flexible. They're like, you have to do this on this day, and this is the only way it's going to work. Okay. You need to have that flexibility. You need to have that flexibility of, hey, well, what can I do? Or like, I'm really tired, or the kids are sick, or, like you need to have that flexibility where you can adjust, where you can change, where you can, throw together a healthy meal. And being really rigid and strict is what keeps us stuck. It's what keeps us stuck, and it's what keeps us thinking that we can't do this and that the weight keeps coming back on, even though we've lost it in the first place. It's because we're used to that rigid, that strictness, that's got to be perfect. So it's really starting for weight maintenance to start to have more of a flexible approach and starting to understand that you don't need to be perfect. And if you're off plan for a few days, it's not going to matter. It's the small things that you do consistently over time. It's not the perfect things that you do. It's the small things repeated consistently over time. You don't have to be perfect. Okay, the next one. I want you to create food freedom windows. And what I mean by that is you need to learn how to include pizza and ice cream and, like I said, my burger and my thick shake in a way because it will prevent restriction and yo-yo dieting. You have to find a way. You have to learn about what you eat, how much you eat, how you eat, so that you can have those food freedom windows where you can go, you know what, like me on the weekend, I was like, I feel like a burger and chips and a thick shake. I'm going to have a burger and chips and a thick shake. And I didn't care. I had no concern about the calories. I wasn't worried about them because I had that knowledge base around food that I knew exactly where that fitted into my week of eating and into my day of week eating. And that's where that food freedom comes from. You can't eat perfectly and not enjoy pizza and ice cream and chocolate and biscuits and the things that you love and can keep it up long term. You just can't, because we all enjoy those foods and we should enjoy those foods. I do get a bit frustrated, when these people are on social media and they're saying, well, you should never eat this and you shouldn't have that and don't eat this. I truly believe in 80-20 approach. If you are like 80% of the time pretty good, pretty healthy, that 20%, it's okay. It's like that soul food. It's that food that you need to nourish your soul or to eat out with friends or enjoy a dinner out with your family. Those things are really, really important. And it's just crucial that you learn how to create food freedom, that you learn how to go to the gym, but also eat a burger. You need to learn how to have a walk, but also eat some chocolate on the couch. Like, you need to learn these things, and that food knowledge is key. And I was talking to one of our Healthy Eating Hype Gal members. If you're new here, that's my monthly membership where I teach women and help them with weight loss and healthy eating, stuff that actually makes sense to busy women. Not like, do 5 hours at the gym and 6 hours of meal prep, none of that kind of stuff. all the simple, realistic tips and advice. And I was talking to a member, and she was just saying that it's been so interesting and so eye-opening for her to start to understand what she eats. Like I said, we did the diet audit with her and had a look at her food and had a look at where her calories were coming from. And when you actually look at the reality of what you're dealing with instead of guessing or Googling or crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. She just said it's so interesting. And she said she's loving it, eye opening. And she said she's really enjoying it because it's giving her confidence back. She feels confident. She feels empowered because now she can see what she's doing. She can see where she's been going wrong. She can see exactly what she needs to eat in order to have success. She's not guessing. She's not trying something and just hoping. She hasn't just bought some program and is just following blindly what she's doing. She's actually learning as she goes. And she said it's just been really, really eye opening and really, really interesting. And she's just loving the process. And that's honestly what happens when you take a woman and you take her from feeling overwhelmed, lost, confused, feeling hopeless and a failure to empowering them because women are smart. You are smart. You can do this. It's just that you're focusing on all the wrong things. That's it. You're focusing on skipping meals, eating less, doing all the things, and that's why it's not working. When you start looking at what you've got, what you're working with, and actually looking at the data and the facts and the information, you experience success. The overwhelm goes, you feel confident, you feel empowered. And I just love being a part of women's journeys and, taking them from that one side of being not knowing what to eat, what to do for success, to actually feeling in control of it and feeling confident about it and knowing exactly what to do. It's just the best feeling ever. Okay, next one. And I have mentioned this one a few times on the podcast because I feel like it still sort of underpins everything. So, weight maintenance. So, maintaining that weight after the weight loss. Focus on the person you want to show up as, not just the number on the scale. We are so fixated on that number on the scale like it is the be all and end all. It is not. It doesn't mean a lot. It really, really doesn't because our bodies fluctuate, weight fluctuates. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you should be within a healthy weight range, but there are so many other signs of progress that as women, we just choose to blatantly ignore. We just go, well, I went to the gym 3 times a week. Oh, that doesn't matter because the scales don't say that. And then they sit there and beat themselves up and feel really bad. And, oh, I haven't made any progress. And is this working? And should I try something different? Focus on the person that you want to show up as instead of that number on the scale. Okay. So, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the woman that says, I'm going to go for a walk tomorrow and she never does it? Do you want to be the woman that says, oh no, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock and I'm going to go to the gym? And she sets her alarm and she snoozes through all of them. Like, you think about it. If that was your best friend, is she very reliable? Would you count on her? Probably not. And it's the same for you. You need to start becoming someone that you can rely on consistently because that will help you with your weight maintenance long term. So you need to say things to yourself. I'm someone that does what she says she's going to do. It's that simple. You have to take that accountability for things. So there's sort of like two people in this world. There's the one that's like, oh, this is not me and it's not working and I can't do this. And then there's the woman that's like, you know what? I'm actually going to do something about it. I'm going to take full accountability. That was me that actually snoozed those 5 alarms. That was me that said I was going to go for a walk and I didn't. That was me that said I was going to drink my water and instead I've had 3 cans of Pepsi Max and 2 coffees. You have to take that accountability bit. Instead of focusing on the scale and the dress size and all of that stuff, focus on the person that you want to be. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What kind of woman do you want to show up as? Do you want to show up as the woman that shows up for herself and does the things that she says that she's going to do? Or do you want to be the woman that's always hitting the snooze button and never going for the walk and never following through? And remember, when you follow through, that's how you increase your confidence. People think that confidence around healthy eating and weight loss comes from this, like, magic sorcery. It doesn't. The confidence that you want, you start knowing that you can do these things is just by doing them. The more you do them, the more you will feel confident in doing them and the more that you will want to do them. So showing up as her and the person that you want to be is actually a secret key to your success. All right, next tip for weight maintenance. Track your energy, not just your calories. This is such a big part of long-term success. We focus so on the calories of everything. What's the calories? What's the calories? I will often talk to women. I'm like, well, hang on a second. Let's have a think about this. It's like, oh, well, I might have overeaten slightly on my calories for the week. And it's like, okay, well, hang on a second. Let's have a think about this. How do you feel? How do you feel when you eat that meal? How do you feel in the mornings? Do you have more energy? Are you having less energy? The biggest problem that we experience with women is because of our hectic lifestyles, we've turned off our self awareness. So that voice inside us that says, well, you know what? I just ate that massive bowl of pasta and I sat on the couch for 5 hours and I actually feel really disgusting. Like I feel really bloated. It's not sitting right. I haven't feel like I haven't digested it properly. It's just made me feel really sluggish. We don't. We turn that off because we're so busy bouncing from the next task to the next task to the next task that we forget our internal voice and we forget to listen to her. So instead of focusing always on calories, start tuning into yourself. And I have a full podcast episode on this. It is about your set point. It is what is your set point and why it matters. And I definitely recommend going back and listening to that because I don't weigh myself anymore. I don't use scales. I don't use anything like that. I use my set point now to track my progress and to measure myself. And it all comes down to connecting with myself and how I'm feeling. Because if you take the time to really tune inwards and focus on yourself and what your body is trying to tell you, it will give you the answers that you need. It's just that we ignore them. We get the signs, we get the signals, we get the little, oh, I felt really gross after eating that, or I'm super tired, but hey, I haven't actually done any exercise this week. If we start tuning in and start listening and tracking that energy and how we're feeling, you'll actually get all of the answers that you need. So turn on that self awareness and start listening to what your body is telling you. Next one is to stack your daily habits. There is a quote, and I'm going to read it, and I don't know if this is exactly correct, and I'm not sure who it's from, but it's just one that I've always loved. The secret to your success is found in your daily habits. So we think that to succeed with healthy eating and fat loss and weight loss, it has to be this massive task. It's got to be this huge, cumbersome thing that takes up all our time. And we've got to exercise for hours and spend hours cooking and meal prepping. So wrong. It's not that at all. It's found in the small moments. The success that you want is found in the small moments every single day. It's true. Okay. Weight loss has a compounding effect. Okay, so the small things that you do every single day stack up over time and have a compounding effect. And even though in that moment, and probably for a few weeks, a few months, you might not see any changes or any results, those daily habits that you are doing are having a compounding effect and they will create results over time. But the problem is we quit too soon because the results haven't shown up yet. So the success that you are looking for is definitely found in your daily habits. And a really simple thing that you can do for weight maintenance, and it's something that I do, is stack your tasks. Stack your tasks and stack your habits. So for me, I've got a stationary bike at home and I've also just got a walking pad. So if I don't have time to go to the gym, I'm on the stationary bike, I'm riding and I'm doing emails and checking in with, like the girls in the Facebook group, responding to DMs. I'm doing the task at the same time. Another one I like to do is at bedtime. So when I'm getting ready for bed and I'm brushing my teeth, I will then put out my gym clothes for the morning. So I'm stacking an easy habit. So brushing my teeth is something I can just do without thinking with something else. So try and get in the habit of stacking your tasks because it just makes things easier. And it's a really good idea to stack your tasks with something that you already do. So like I said, sitting on a stationary bike and just riding is easy. That's an easy thing for me to do. And then I can do some emails and DMs and tasks and stuff that I need to do. The teeth brushing with the gym clothes, that's another one, a really simple one that you can stack because like I said, weight loss is great, but you have to find tools and strategies to help you for weight maintenance so that you don't get stuck in this awful dieting cycle where you're continually gaining that same 5 or 10 or 20 kilos, whatever it is, every single time, and you never quite work out how to keep it off for the long term. And if I can give you one piece of advice to end today's podcast episode, consistency beats perfection. Hands down, every single time. Consistency beats perfection. And listen, consistency is not perfection. That's not what it is. Consistency beats perfection. So being consistent and showing up in a little bit, some way every single day will always beat you trying to do it perfectly or waiting for something perfectly. So my best advice always is start small and stick with it. Start small, start messy, start imperfect, and just keep going with those small daily habits. The truth is, weight maintenance is all about longevity. So you have to ask yourself this: is what you're doing currently or what you're thinking about doing actually something that you can do and achieve long term? So if you are currently following a plan, or if you've been looking at a plan or something that you've seen advertised, and like it might be keto or intermittent fasting, and you're looking at those things and you're going, is that longevity? Like, is that something that I can do long term? Then it's probably not something that you should start in the first place, because healthy eating needs to be a lifestyle. It needs to be something that you can do long term. It needs to be something that you can do long term and still have a life, still enjoy eating out, still enjoy a burger, still enjoy a holiday, do all those things without having to do it perfectly. Thank you so much for joining me in today's podcast episode, and I'll see you all in our next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.